ask myself, what am I doing here? Oh, yeah.
Welcome back to our podcast. I'm Desiree.
And I'm Linsey. And we had a lot of views on our first podcast, and that in turn gave us a lot of questions and concerns and people flowing in with, why are we doing this podcast? And we're going to answer that for you.
So why are you came?
I think a main reason of why I want to do the podcast is because, I feel like Linsey and I are both very real people on the internet, and you don't get that a lot on the internet. A lot of people are fake their personality and fake their life, and a lot of people come to social media for things to be real, and it's really not. It's all put on a front.
And it's fun too because Desiree and I have very different ways of going about things on the internet. So you have me, who is the golden retriever, quiet, that's who I am offline as online. And then you have Desiree, who is very outspoken, to the point, and she's not going to take anybody's bullcrap. So
yeah, I like to keep it real. I can honestly 100% say I'm the same way in person as I am on the internet. I don't say anything different than I would in person.
You're just mean and I'm just kidding.
I'm the villain in the story.
So, one of the main concerns, even mine, because I didn't believe it, was that your truck was repossessed. So, if you want to elaborate on that situation.
Alright, so what happened was, so my banking account, I don't look in my banking account like I should, and I know that I really should, but I don't. So, it was coming out of my banking account. Okay, so here's the banking account, here's the loan company. Okay, here's the money going into the loan company. The loan company was kicking it back out into my bank. And I don't know the amounts in my bank to know $800 was coming out. So, 10 o'clock one night, I heard, it sounded like somebody was just slamming into the back of my truck, just slamming it. Because I heard the diesel pull in the driveway, and I was like, Justin, there's a diesel in my driveway. Who is that? So Justin walks outside with an attachment on him, a very large one. And he went to the guy, and he was hooked up to the back of my truck, and here I am in just a t-shirt and a blanket wrapped around me because I didn't know what was happening. And then the guy was like, "Oh, we're here to get your truck from the bank." I was like,
"Do what?"
Because a month before that, I had them call me, and I had owed $3,000 or something, and I was I paid it off, and they only took one payment out of the $3,000 that I owed for whatever reason. And then so 3 weeks go past, or a month, and then all of a sudden the records pulled up to my truck and leaving my driveway with it. And then I had to pay the amount, and then it was just a whole mess. And then I was on the phone for hours the next day getting my truck because I had to pay the record fees, the lot fees, all kinds of fees. So I paid $4,000 in total to get my truck back. And then somebody saw it going. So how it ended up on the internet was somebody was going down a local town's road, and they saw my truck on the back of a repo truck. Wow. And then, so I wasn't going to say nothing to nobody. Nobody knew, not even my best friend. She did not know. My mother-in-law did not know, and I tell her everything.
I only knew because it got leaked on the good old Reddit.
Okay, so it was going down the town, and this lady's like, "Yeah, she got her truck repossessed. I saw it." And then somebody that works at the repo place, I think that's where it was. Yeah, the repo place. They put on their security camera a picture of my truck, okay? And they screenshot or took a picture from the video camera and put it on the internet. And then all of a sudden it was this big old thing, "You got your truck repossessed, you can't keep up where you don't compare," the whole 9 yards. But I got my truck back, so.
Yeah, the internet went crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Because they thought that
I couldn't pay my bills.
Right, but clearly we know.
So now she's paid off, and I have no bills to worry about.
Now, with that information that you guys just heard, I pulled a few questions from Reddit, and I'm going to ask you some of these. Let me look forward here.
Oh, Julie.
Okay, someone wants to know, why did you lie about getting your truck repoed in the first place? They said first it was your tires, then it was bank failure, and now it never happened.
What?
Please elaborate on this occasion.
Okay, so first off, my business outside of social media is my business. I feel like that's a very personal information. Like, even my mother-in-law didn't know. My best friend Brianna had no idea about it. I told Brianna it was a tire. Like, hey, I went to the tire shop. I'm getting tires. Because I didn't want my kids being like, Mom, where's your car? Oh, it got taken, type deal. Well, so I told everybody, I was like, hey, like, my tire is getting fixed. And then that's when they pulled up the screenshot of my truck in a repo yard, like on the security camera. But somebody had originally saw it going downtown, and I was like, hey, she was like, hey, I just saw your truck go downtown, on the back of a repo truck, and then asking if I needed money to help my bills. And I told her, I was like, no, my tire's getting fixed. And she's like, no, you did not. It's on a repo truck. So that started a big old shebang. And then it was like, when I say bank failure, I don't mean like bank failure. I mean like the bank's fault. Like, it was going out of my bank, and then the loan company wasn't doing it, so it was kicking it back into my bank. So when I say bank failure, I didn't mean like bank failure, because bank failure would mean like I don't have no money. But I kept it off the internet because I didn't want anybody to know that it had happened, because it's nobody's business really what was happening with my finances, because none of my friends know my finances. The only person that knows my finances are my husband. But I've never claimed that it never happened. Like, people come on there and make comments, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, because I don't want to get on the subject of it.
Yeah, you definitely
Because
did
it's
it
the same thing 100 times over and over and over and over and over again.
The next question was, when you do prove yourself on the internet, like you proved that, okay, well, it was just bank failure or whatever. They're saying when you do prove yourself on the internet, you never show any actual proof. You'll show a car manual or just make up something. So where's the paperwork if you really didn't have, if you really just made the payment and it was a bank failure?
So once again, personal business. I'm not going to put my bank statements. I'm not going to put my banking information, my truck information. Like, it's to a point where they're wanting my tag number so they can look up the stuff behind my tag. They went and found tickets that I had from my tag. They found, what else was it? I didn't pay my taxes on it.
Oh, yeah.
They found that out. Like, all this information is, like, personal information. So that's why, like, I tell people all the time, I go on the internet and I say stuff that's not true just to make y'all go in circles, to make y'all sit here and, like, think about, oh, well, she said this, but she did this, so what does that mean? Like, I do that all the time, and I'll call Lindsay. I'll be like, Lindsay, I'm going to post this just to get them going.
You don't know me. I am unknowable.
And it works.
And to be honest, it's one of those situations where, like, yes, if your truck did get repossessed, it doesn't, like, it shouldn't matter to anybody else why it got repossessed. Like, okay, you could say all day that, okay, I didn't make the payment. Like, is that what y'all want to hear? Is you want me to admit something that y'all think, even though it's not true? Because you would be better off saying, oh yeah, I didn't have the money. Sorry guys. Instead of explaining yourself, because no one believes you. Anyways, it's so pointless.
I don't even know how many messages, like 25 messages of people being like, do you need money? Are you financially good? And I'm like, my truck is literally sitting in my driveway now. Like, if I didn't have the money to afford my truck, I wouldn't have just paid like almost $5,000 to get it out of repo.
And
like,
it was there for less than what,
24 hours.
So,
but the tow truck driver, I will say, I know he, how do I word this? I know that he was telling stuff to people in the town. I knew he knew who I was. He was telling them what my husband come outside in, what we had said to him, the amount that I had pulled up on my phone that I had paid. Like, everybody knew it to the exact details. So the tow truck driver has something coming.
Yeah, that's...
But I just don't go show proof on the internet. Like, our house, for instance, like, people have went and Google imaged my picture of my house in the background and found my address to a house I rent. Like, it's nobody's business. That's why I don't put my personal information on the internet now, because of people being creeps.
Yep. Oh
my.
One of the biggest questions was, why would you go get another vehicle right after your truck was repossessed?
Like I said, my truck I paid off, so I don't have any more problems with the bank with my truck, because of who I went through my loan with. The website is trash. So I just went and bought another vehicle because it was a really good deal and I can make a lot of money on it. So I paid for it and then I'm going to resell it just to prove a point. Like, I don't need your money. Don't ask me if I need money. Like, I literally did it to prove a point to people that I could afford another vehicle.
You know, speaking of your truck, when I got here, I did not see it in the parking lot. So,
Oh, shit.
well, that's it for this podcast. Tune in next time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.